Right now, our sole type of smartphone display design would be hole punch screens similar to those found on the Galaxy S24 phones and other Android handsets, absent Face ID. One of the things I enjoy most about the iPhone, though, its amazing biometrics authentication system drove Apple from the notch display to the dynamic island. Come the iPhone 17 series, Apple might present an even better iteration of the dynamic island display it unveiled in 2022. A Face ID camera tech update dubbed metalens could help to shrink the pill-shaped cutout. The notch occupied much of the top area of the display when Apple unveiled the all-screen Face ID design. For authentication, the 2017 iPhone X has a large true depth camera system capable of rapidly 3D scans of the user's face. Apple has then cut the notch's size. The iPhone 13 boasts a much smaller cutout. Then the iPhone 14 Pros delivered the dynamic island, the whole pill form we also find on the iPhone 16 models of today. Two display cuts linked by a small OLED display area that is permanently turned off form the dynamic island. Apple integrated software capabilities around the dynamic island, transforming this design compromise into the buzz of the town back when the iPhone 14 series debuted. What I'm getting at is that Apple is regularly changing the true depth camera design, and the purpose is evident. Eventually, the gaps in the screen will disappear. The Face ID components and selfie camera will be placed under the screen. The advancement of the Face ID camera might continue with the iPhone 17 Pro Max. That's according to expert Jeff Pugh. The analyst added in a research note viewed by Mac Rumors that the dynamic island will be much narrowed on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. This will be the only model of the 4 iPhone 17 versions to get the upgrade. Apple typically utilizes the iPhone Pro Max model to unveil new capabilities, which will trickle down to all the other variants in subsequent years. If the metalens story is real, the same thing will happen with this new dynamic island design. It's unclear why Apple will only do it with the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Maybe mass-producing metalens units is too expensive and complicated. The technology is exciting nonetheless. Metalenses are lenses that are manufactured utilizing various materials that are etched in a thin, flat lens. These particles allow the lens to concentrate light without requiring any curvatures. Here's a summary of the tech from an MIT report from early 2021. Now MIT engineers have constructed an adjustable metalens that can focus on objects at varying depths without changes to its actual position or shape. The lens is composed not of solid glass, but of a transparent, phase-changing substance that, after heating, can rearrange its atomic structure and so modify the way the material interacts with light. If Pugh's information is genuine, Apple might be poised to introduce the technology to the iPhone. The expert made similar claims about the iPhone 17 Pro Max earlier this year. Yesterday, a rumor suggested all iPhone 17 models would come with 12 GB of RAM, as compared to 8 GB in the iPhone 16 series. Today, TF International Securities analyst Ming-Chi Kuo has stepped in with some clarifications. According to him, only the iPhone 17 Pro Max will have 12 GB of RAM, whereas the iPhone 17, iPhone 17 Pro, and iPhone 17 Slim would get 8 GB, same like the forthcoming iPhone Southeast. With this in mind, Apple is likely to transform expanded on-device AI capabilities into a major selling point only for the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and not the entire range. The Pro Max will also feature an enhanced cooling system combining vapor chamber technology with graphite sheets. The rest of the iPhone 17 family will use graphite sheets alone, much as prior models. Kuo believes the Pro Max presently accounts for approximately 40% of iPhone sales, which means it's Apple's revenue and profit leader among hardware items. And that is why the differentiation strategy, retaining the greatest features for the Pro Max, is likely to persist. Apple's iPhone development roadmap stretches several years into the future, and the corporation is continually working with suppliers on several subsequent iPhone models simultaneously, which is why we occasionally hear rumored feature leaks so far ahead of launch. The iPhone 17 series is no different. Already we have some sense of what to expect from Apple's 2025 smartphone lineup. Apple aims to add ProMotion to all iPhone models in 2025, allowing all models to ramp up to a 120 Hz refresh rate for smoother scrolling and video content when appropriate. Previously, only Pro models in Apple's iPhone series have had the functionality. Notably, promotion would also enable the display on the iPhone 17 to ramp down to a more power-efficient refresh rate as low as 1 Hz, allowing for an always-on display that can show the lock screen's clock, widgets, alerts, and wallpaper even when the device is locked. Apple's premium 2025 models are expected to be outfitted with an Apple-designed Wi-Fi 7 chip for the first time. Wi-Fi 7 capability would allow the Pro versions to send and receive data over the 2.4 GHz, 5 GHz, and 6 GHz bands simultaneously with a certified router, resulting in higher Wi-Fi speeds, lower latency, and more dependable connectivity. The Wi-Fi chip would also allow Apple to further lessen its dependence on external suppliers like Broadcom, which presently supplies Apple with a combined Wi-Fi and Bluetooth chip for iPhones. An enhanced 48-megapixel telephoto lens on Apple's largest premium iPhone is believed to be tailored for usage with Apple's Vision Pro headset. That would make 2025's Pro Max the first iPhone to have a back camera system consisting solely of 48-megapixel lenses, making it capable of capturing even more visual information. The iPhone 17 range will include a 24-megapixel front-facing camera with a 6-element lens, according to one report. The iPhone 14 and 15 include a 12-megapixel front-facing camera with 5 polycarbonate lens components, while this year's iPhone 16 series features the same technology. The enhanced resolution to 24 megapixels on the iPhone 17 will help images to maintain their quality even when cropped or zoomed in, while the larger number of pixels will capture finer details. The update to a 6-element lens should also significantly increase image quality. The iPhone 17 will feature an anti-reflective display that is more scratch-resistant than Apple's ceramic shield found on iPhone 15 models, according to one rumor, although the new iPhone 16 Pro models do have the latest generation ceramic shield, which has an advanced formulation that is 2x tougher than glass on any other smartphone. The exterior glass on the iPhone 17 is rumored to have a super hard anti-reflective layer that is more scratch-resistant. It's not clear whether Apple is aiming to adopt the Gorilla Glass armor that Samsung employs in its Galaxy S24 Ultra, but the description of Corning's latest technology matches the claim. At least one model in Apple's iPhone 17 lineup will come with 12 gigs. Jeff Pugh of investment firm Haitong has claimed that both Pro versions will arrive with a raised RAM, while Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo believes that the iPhone 17 Pro Max will include 12 gigs. In contrast, another reputable source has indicated that all iPhone 17 models would have 12 gigs of RAM. For comparison, the normal iPhone 15 and iPhone 15 Plus have 6 gigs of RAM, and the iPhone 15 Pro versions have 8 gigs of RAM, while all iPhone 16 models have 8 gigs of RAM. Any such increase would allow for enhanced multitasking on the iPhone, as well as provide additional resources for Apple Intelligence functions that require large language models to be resident in memory. Apple regularly improves iPhones with faster and more efficient chip technologies each year. While we are not expecting the iPhone 17 series to feature TSMC next-generation 2nm semiconductors, Apple's A19 chip technology is anticipated to be constructed on an improved 3nm process. The iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max are believed to contain an A19 Pro chip, while the iPhone 17 series could have the normal A19 chip. TSMC is working on its N3P process, with mass production slated to commence in late 2024. So that's the chip technology that we're assuming Apple will employ for the iPhone 17 series. Compared to earlier versions of 3nm chips, the N3P chips offer increased performance efficiency and increased transistor density. Next, Apple suppliers will begin mass manufacturing of the 4th generation iPhone SE in December, supply chain analyst Ming-Chi Kuo stated today in a blog post. The 4th generation iPhone SE is expected to have a similar design as the base iPhone 14, with rumored features including a 6.1-inch OLED display, Face ID, a newer A-series chip, a USB-C port, a single 48-megapixel rear camera, 8 gigs of RAM to enable Apple Intelligence support, and the first ever Apple-designed 5G modem. The next iPhone SE is projected to be introduced in the first half of 2025, with a launch in March or April most likely, and mass production of the handset commencing in December would make sense given that timescale. Ku expects that Apple suppliers would build roughly 8.6 million fourth-generation iPhone SE units until the first quarter of next year. Based on a fresh revelation from Mark Gurman, Apple has now firmed launch plans for 2025. Supposedly, the business will kick off next year by presenting new 13-inch and 15-inch MacBook Air laptops. According to the Apple expert, these laptops will arrive between January and March sporting the codenames J713 and J715 respectively. Unfortunately, they too will receive next to no obvious modifications apart from a required upgrade to Apple N4 chipsets. Meanwhile, the iPhone SE4 should appear sometime next spring with all of the features that have leaked so far. On top of that, the 11th generation iPad and a new iPad Air tablets are in order, as are compatible keyboard accessories. Moreover, the Mac Studio with the same N4 generation chipsets is due between March and June, designated J575. After that, Gurman expects that Apple will introduce the Mac Pro in 2025, again with a focus on internal rather than outward upgrades. Furthermore, Apple's first smart home display is set for release in 2025 also, details of which we have covered separately. As normal, Apple will round up the summer with the iPhone 17 series, which is still expected to feature the iPhone 17 Air instead of a new Plus model. So, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting tech news and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.